Hello, 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 football fans. Hello, fans of the Calling Stowe Network. Hello, anyone who has just clicked on this video. I'm so excited to have you today for at least 30 minutes here because we got some Panthers playoffs to talk about because we are in, baby. I can't believe it. I was talking on the stream yesterday, that would be the last time, about what this means to me as a fan and how excited I am for the game. And then we lost. And then I didn't want to cheer for the Falcons today, so I didn't. I just didn't even watch the game. I went and saw a movie with my girlfriend. I said, forget this. Forget this stress. Forget the turmoil this is going to be putting on me. I'm just going to leave it be. Whatever happens, happens. If we make the playoffs, we do. If we miss the playoffs, c'est la vie. So that's life, and we're good. But we are in. 8-9 in the playoffs. Not what I wanted, but it's what I'm gonna get. And so we'll jump right into it. Why I'm so shocked and the rest of the stuff, of course, here on our January 4th edition of Sports with Curtis, aka Panthers are in the playoffs. So, little backstory for anyone who hasn't been following along super tightly with the Panthers this year and the record. We were in second most of the year in our division to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it was coming down to these final 3 weeks where we were going to play the Buccaneers, the Seahawks, and the Buccaneers. And it was more likely than not that we needed to win 2 out of those 3 games if we wanted to make the playoffs. Preferably both against the Buccaneers, because then that just cements it against Tampa Bay, which you'll see at the bottom. There was about 80% chance Tampa Bay made the playoffs. There was about 17 or whatever that the Panthers made it. And then a 0% chance that this mystical third option could happen. And that mystical third option would have to involve the Atlanta Falcons beating the Rams after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost to Miami, while the Panthers lost to Seattle. And that happened. Panthers also beat Tampa Bay, and then we lost to Tampa Bay, and the Falcons beats the Saints. I'm so scatterbrained. I'm so this is one of the craziest results that I've ever seen in just sports in general. It shouldn't have happened, and the the NFL is rigged, and I'm gonna file an actual complaint to the FBI. But who cares now? We're in the playoffs, so I guess we'll talk about that. So. We'll reel it in a little bit. We're in the playoffs. We are going to be hosting a 12-5 team as an 8-9 team in the division leader spot. That's either going to be the Los Angeles Rams, who we beat already once this year, or the Chicago Bears, and that's going to be a tough game because Chicago is quite good this year. So. We'll see. I'm not saying I have confidence, but all I'm saying is we are in. Bryce Young has led this team to a playoff berth in year 3, joined by Rico Dowdle, who is incredible, joined by Tedero McMillan, who is incredible, and joined by Dave Canales, who, for as much crap as we're going to give him, and I'm going to give him a ton. One of the most inconsistent play callers in the league. He needs some help, and he doesn't give himself that help. I will forever not be a fan of that, but I will forever be able to say that Dave Canales has brought my team to the playoffs for the first time in my fandom ever. And so I'll give him his respect for that. So shout out Dave Canales, shout out Bryce Young. These are my Panthers, and you might notice the jersey I'm wearing this time, let's go this shoulder, the number 15. I would turn my whole back, but we will. We're showing it off. I'm wearing Jonathan Mingo is getting busted out today because that's how happy I am. We are a playoff team. And while I haven't been a fan for the longest time, like some of my other Panther fans out there, I've been around for some dark days. I've watched this man. I bought a jersey before I even played it down because I was confident. Didn't work out. Glad I didn't do that with Xavier Legette, and I am glad that I did it again with Tedero McMillan. I bought a T-Mac jersey the moment we drafted him. The moment I knew he was number 4, I had that jersey on order. Just like how Mingo, the moment I knew he was 15, I had this jersey on order. And again, that worked out so well. just the doldrums that again I talked about it yesterday, talked about it again on Twitter. Lots of people have talked about it on Twitter just how bad it's been, and I forgot some of the errors of this team, and I even got to go through the drafts that were just abysmal. I think it was Scott Fritterer. I don't think that's actually how you say his name, but he doesn't deserve the respect of saying his name correctly. He tried to ruin my favorite team forever, and now it's gone. We have Dan Morgan, Dave Canales, Bryce Young. So we're in the playoffs. What's going to happen? I don't know. We'll probably lose. I don't care. We made it. And for any of my longtime viewers or people who don't know, I did a little NFL prediction with Nolan, the Thode side of the Callings Thode Network. And I said the Panthers would be 9-8 or 8-9, but more likely than not 9-8. And so I was wrong there. I'll take that. But I think I also said the Panthers were either going to be the 7th wild card team, or not 7th wild card, the 7th seed, the last wild card team, or miss the playoffs. And I was wrong about that too. So hey, this is one of those days where we are happy to be wrong because we are in the playoffs, and who knows what happens from here. A little bit of also fun facts, revolving around playoffs. Every single time the Panthers wear a special patch on their jersey, their first season, the 10th season, the 20th, and the 30th season, they've made the playoffs. And in every season before this one, for the 10th, 20th, and inaugural season, they won 2 playoff games. And I'm not saying that pattern's going to repeat. I'm just saying it's been a season full of patterns for these Panthers. A pattern that did expire is since week 7, we had been flipping wins and losses every single week. Now that's officially over. Too bad. That was fun while it lasted, but we've lost our last 2 in a row. So that makes you think, well, maybe we'll come back and win this playoff game. But no, very wishful thinking. Again, that Seattle game was such a test, and we were close actually. Again, 17-10, but we failed that test. So who knows what happens in the future? I know my dad, he wants us to face the Seahawks, and because he doesn't trust Darno. Personally, I don't even know. Maybe the Bears. Maybe the Bears is the most fun game you could see, but they're trying to win that division, so who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I doubt it's going to be the Bears. Maybe the 49ers as well. That was one of the other ones, not the Bears. I was wrong. So anyways, we're in the playoffs. What's going to happen? I don't know. Are we going to win? I doubt it, but is it going to be fun? Yes. Is it going to be nerve-wracking? Also, yes. Oh, Panthers in the playoffs. So I guess we'll really dive into thank you, Falcons, because why? Why did you do this for us? There was no reason for you to not only win this game, but win last week's game and win 5 out of your last 6 weeks. Thank you. Thank you, Atlanta. Thank you, Atlanta Falcons. Thank you, Kyle Pitts. Especially thank you, Kirk Cousins, because Michael Penis Jr. is awful. He is awful. And anyone who said going into this year that he was the best quarterback in the NFC South, blind, deaf, dumb, and they shouldn't watch football anymore. I mean, Kirk Cousins has outplayed this guy 2 seasons in a row. Come on. It's ridiculous to me that people were so high on Michael Penix Jr. And now we're seeing the result. But hey, thank you for putting Kirk Cousins in when you did. Saved the season for us. I think that was actually in the game against the Panthers where Penix got hurt. So thanks, Falcons. Thanks, Panthers. We kind of saved our own season with that. So shout out BNCD in the chat. Quarterback, yeah, I want a refund. That's a good one. I'm shocked that hasn't actually come up yet. So that is, that's just like, it's just, shouldn't have happened. I saw many different things. I even argued with my dad about this, that I was arguing there's a chance Atlanta made the playoffs, which was not true, but there was a way that Atlanta would make us win and make it into the playoffs. So it happened. I saw there was one person on Twitter, I can't remember who it was, and it's too bad because I like to try to give people credit, who was going through like the playoff predictions, and it was a 0% chance the outcome that has happened. 0% chance. It rounded down, of course. It was in the 0 point, decimal point, whatever you want to say, but this should not have happened. The Dolphins with Quinn Ewers at quarterback should not have beat the Bucs in Week 17. The Falcons with Kirk Cousins at quarterback should not have beat the Rams in Week 17. The Panthers should have beat the Bucs in Week 18. That was ridiculous. So I guess we'll get into that. We're done thanking the Falcons. Because who cares now? Let's talk about what's happened. And more than not, who cares now? We're in. Whatever happens. I don't really care. If we lose, we lose. We're on to next season, and we have optimism for the first time in a very long time for Carolina Panther fans. Genuine optimism in the offseason. I was, a little bit of false optimism, a little bit of false hope last offseason. I won't lie. I was higher than a lot of Falcons. I was higher than a lot of Panther fans going into the year, but I understand that now next year, every single Panther fan should be as excited as me. If not, then you're just a Debbie Downer, maybe a Bryce Young hater, but I'll never get that. Anyways, on to the point at hand. Who cares about what happened before? I still kind of care. I won't lie to you. Part of me is still incredibly upset about that game on Saturday. That was one of the worst games of football I've ever watched. And not because of the two teams on the field. Bryce Young was tremendous. Tedero McMillan was tremendous. I mean, Tommy Tremble, he stepped up huge in that game. I mean, he was reliable. And the refs weren't. Wow, were the refs not reliable. So we'll start with Tommy Tremble. In football, if you grab the face mask of the opposing player, that's a penalty. It's 15 yards and an automatic first down. And so you figure, if you grab a face mask, it's face mask. That's literally the name of the penalty. Okay, so picture this. You grab the face mask of the opposing player. You rip their helmet off and throw it down the field. You would assume that's a penalty for 15 yards and a free first down. Not when you're Carolina. No penalty, no flag, nothing. Get out there and play again. Good luck. So we do. We say, you know what? Forget the refs. Let's take this game into our hands. Let's take control of the situation here. And bam, 30-yard pass, putting us in field goal range. Tedero McMillan, offensive pass interference. I don't have the footage to show right now. I could put my phone up to the screen. I don't have the footage readily available on my computer, but it's all over Twitter. I'm sure I could find it if I looked for even a minute. But I'm live right now, so I'm not going to do that. One of the most egregious calls I've seen, that was the one that really killed me. I mean, the Tommy Tremble one, I mean, that's as obvious as it gets. That's black and white. But it's this gray area where the refs make a decision all on their own and completely subjectively, like an English teacher in high school. That's where I really get upset. And so this Tedero McMillan catch, 30 yards, we're out of field goal range. We proceed to miss the field goal, 54 yards, a slip on the foot for our kicker. That's 3 points right there that would have won us the game. Then they get the ball, throw a pass, running. I trip over my own feet. You get called for a penalty. I don't get that. Nick Scott had a defensive pass interference on a play where he didn't, they touched, but he didn't manhandle. He didn't caress. They just collided. And the player on the other team trips over his own foot. And that is a penalty against us all of a sudden, putting them in the red zone and giving them a huge, I saw someone say 9-point swing. I don't know where they get that number from. Maybe if I go through the game, I'll agree. But either way, kills me. Kills me. And that's not even So it was not only the Tommy Tremble one, not only the offensive pass interference, the defensive pass interference, but the worst one, the pass backwards out of bounds. So to set the scene, it was first and 10, because it was then second and 17 or second and 16 after, which was ridiculous. Just ridiculous. All of this is ridiculous. Just the most, it's getting out of hand. It's been very bad for these last few weeks watching these Panther games, but this one was the most ridiculous. So, 1st and 10, we're setting up a screen pass. That means we're very intentionally throwing it to our running back where he'll have blockers and room to run. And so we drop back, throw the ball. It's thrown backwards, which means it's a lateral, which means it's technically a fumble. Any ball thrown backwards is a lateral, and laterals are fumbles, so the defense could have picked the ball up, but the guy we're throwing it to, I think it was Rico Dowdle, immediately picked the ball up off the ground and went to start running, but the refs blew the whistle. What is called an inadvertent whistle. The refs blow the play dead. We don't get a chance to run forward, and there was open space. Anyone who's seen the all-22 footage will tell you there was open space. Maybe not a touchdown, but at least field goal range on that play. Instead, it gets blown down. When a play gets inadvertently whistled in football, the team that has that against them has a choice of either taking the result or replaying the down. And every team, when the result is negative, replays the down. So why were we not replaying that 1st and 10? Why was it 2nd and 17? Why were we not given a choice? Rigged. Fully. That is the only one where I'm like, that was rigged. And also, what the refs called it is they called it a backwards pass that went out of bounds. The ball never left the field. If you even watch after the whistle blows, Rico Dowdle doesn't bring the ball to the sidelines. He gives the ball to the ref, and the ref runs it to the middle of the field. It never touches the white paint. The ball never leaves the 50 yards that is in regulation. It's decisions like that. It's not rulings. It's decisions like that that cost games, that take the game completely out of the hands of the players and decides a game that referees, that people like me and you, the same athletic ability as me and you, maybe they run on a treadmill a little more often than we do, are deciding games with pro athletes in them. I hate AI. I really do. But if referee jobs could be taken by AI, that's one of those ones I'd be happy to see people lose their jobs. Because I think referees in most sports are going off the deep end. They're making personal decisions more often than ever. I mean, video review is not helping them. I will be in their corner for that. They're not allowed to make as many mistakes nowadays. But still, it's the egregious stuff. It's the obvious stuff. It's decisions. It's not black and white rulings. It is gray area decisions. And that's where we need an AI to take over this job. In baseball, we have robots doing umpiring now. It's the ABS, automatic ball strikes. Do it for all sports. Do it for all sports. Train these models to learn. I don't know. I don't care. I'm sick of watching referees. I'm sick of watching humans make decisions that impact my favorite teams. That my favorite teams then can't go and fix. There's one thing about having an opponent beat you that's better than you. That's fine. They outplayed you. Happens. There is one thing about not even getting the chance to come back, and that's what that game felt like. So, congratulations, Tampa Bay, for winning that game. I don't know how much they gave the refs. I don't know how much the NFL gave the refs for that, but it didn't matter. Again, thank you, Falcons. Again, I'm seeing a lot of people saying that game was rigged for the Buccaneers to win, so the viewership would be higher on Saints vs. Falcons because every fan of the Buccaneers and the Panthers would be watching that game. I'm not saying it's a bad theory, and I'm actually not saying I disagree with that theory in the slightest, but No, actually, I fully agree. I fully agree. I fully think that game was rigged. To go along with that, the head official, I don't remember his name, don't care enough, is the statistics for his games on divisional games where it's on the line. He was like 10-1 in favor of the home team. He was, I think, 15-2 in favor of who the favor was in the betting odds, and that was Tampa Bay, not the Panthers. There was another stat, can't remember, but it was so heavily favorited and rigged, I'll just say, that the Buccaneers were going to win that game. If you go off every stat out there, every prediction model, there was no way we should have won that game, and the refs made sure of it. So congratulations, Buccaneers. Congratulations, Falcons. Thank you. It would have been, if we weren't making the playoffs, I'm going to hide this now. If we weren't making the playoffs, this would have been a very different stream. This would have been a full crash out stream. There wouldn't have been a background because I would have thrown it down. There wouldn't be a microphone. I think this might have actually been a stream of me just having a crowd of like 50 people gather from the neighborhood to watch me be angry if we didn't make the playoffs after that result on Saturday. Again, like, I don't know if that doesn't stress how much I thought that game was awful and ruined, then I don't know what will. Just a horrible experience. So yeah. There's the regular season wrapped up. Shout out football. I mean, games are still going on right now. Of course, Sunday Night Football is about to start. We'll do a little live score update here. It looks like the Commanders are going to beat the Eagles. It looks like the Broncos are going to beat the Chargers. And the Chiefs look like they might beat the Raiders 12-11. 12-11. I've never seen that score before. I mean, I know how do you do it. Either, 4 field goals to a touchdown and a field goal. No, a touchdown with a 2-point conversion and a field goal. I'm so confused by this score right now. Anyways, so there's Panthers, there's playoffs. We'll get into some player statistics here. Let's see if I can find the exact tweet. Probably not. The Panthers' final stats. I guess we'll just go through each player individually. Tenero McMillan, what a season. I wish I could have predicted a season this good. I think I was underselling how good he was in my preseason predictions. He was phenomenal. 70 catches, just over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. A genuine superstar. That's good to have. When you watch him, and watching him all season and having watched Mike Evans for the past couple years, get a little bit of muscle on those bones, and it's a spitting image of Mike Evans. So I loving my Terry McMillan. We did a lot of predictions for Bryce Young's stats. I remember my final line. I wanted to see 3,300 passing yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. That was like my highs. And this year, Bryce Young finished with 3,000 yards, 300 under, but I'll take that. 23 touchdowns, 25 if you include his rushing touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. So touchdowns maybe a little lower than I was predicting, but the yards were good. The completion percent was good. The quarterback rating, all of which career highs for Bryce Young. So he was great. Our quarterback of the future. I have full faith in him. I have full trust that Bryce Young is going to be that guy for us. Panthers fans that don't believe, I don't know what more you have to see, if we're being honest with each other, for Bryce Young to be the guy for you, because he's been that guy for me practically the whole time, so I don't know. We'll see moving forward how the playoffs go. I'm going to be wrapping up the episode here soon, as I don't really got that much more to talk about. Rico Dowdle going to be leaving the Panthers, but a lot of these things we're going to be talking about later on. A lot of these conversations are off-season talks, so we'll save them for later. For now, keep pounding. Let's go Panthers. We're in the playoffs. I can't believe it. Take a drink from your Panthers mug, everyone. Shout out my dad. What a Christmas gift. What a Christmas gift making the playoffs is. Genuinely. Can't believe it. I thought we would be a positive record team and miss the playoffs. Turned out we would be making the playoffs with a negative record. And that's pretty fun. Some last minute looking around at the NFL. Of course, the Raiders got a field goal to make that game 14-12. Looks like they're going to win to end their season. Makes no difference. The Raiders still have the first overall pick. Looking at the standings as well, the Lions beat the Bears. And you know what that means? That means every single team in the NFC North was above 500. The Lions, the worst team in that division, tied with the Vikings both at 9-8. What's funny about that is that when you go from the North to the South, the NFC South does not have a single team above 500. Every single team has a losing record. And so that means in one season we had a division of all positive records and all negative records. And that's pretty funny. That makes me laugh. And so that's going to do it for this episode. I'm not going to stretch it 4 minutes and talk about literally nothing to make this 30 minutes. 25 is just as good. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. We're going to be talking either Toronto Maple Leafs or Toronto Raptors. You'll have to wait and see. Make sure you subscribe. Click on that notification bell so you don't miss either a live stream or a daily video. Coming up soon, I'm going to be on vacation from the 10th to the 17th. And so I'm saying it now. I have to do it. There will be daily videos here on the Callings Thode Network. It is going to be a little bit of gaming as we're going to go back in time to the 2024 Toronto Blue Jays. And we are going to fix what Ross Atkins and the rest of the management team couldn't. Or at least they took them an extra year. As 2025, great year for our Blue Jays. Let's just try win that World Series 1 year earlier. So, as I was saying, make sure you go below, hit subscribe on the Callings Thode Network channel. Make sure you click that bell so you don't miss a single upload or live stream. Remember, everyone, keep pounding. Let's go Panthers. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. And until next time, peace out.